Lovely evening at the Engine now, day 3 of the Rio 2016 Paralympic Athletics. 9 titles to be decided tonight after the 7 from the morning session. And as you can see, filling up again at the Engine now. Smatterings of blue coming through. It's probably been the best day's weather we've had since the competition started on Wednesday with the opening ceremony. It's actually been quite nice. It hasn't rained, it's just been overcast for the past 3-4 days. But the crowds have been out in force today, something like, I would guess, 25,000 at the Engine now for the morning session. And already filling up again in the bottom tier, which would be a good-sized stadium in itself here. It's a 60,000 capacity, the Engine now. This is what we've coming up. We've got 9 finals, 5 in the field, 4 in the track, and included in the track action, the men's 100 T36, defending champions in that. Graham Ballard won a silver in the London 2012. Hannah Cockcroft goes in the final of the women's 100 metres T34, men's 1500 metre 34, and also lots of good action in the field as well.
Looking forward to these finals. Women's Javelin F37, we've got Sherlyn Coelho, will be the defending Paralympic title holder from London, and she's a world record holder. Vanessa Lowe of Germany should be hard to beat in the long jump T42. She holds the world record. 2 men's shot put events, F20 and F33. Reigning champions will be chasing more gold in both of those. And the women's javelin F56, in which Martina Willing will be chasing her 12th Paralympic medal. So lots of attention around the field events. And the F33, there's the field, with athletes from Algeria, Australia, Saudi Arabia, the Arab Emirates, Germany, and Great Britain. And there's Kieran Chiniowski. The world record is actually held by Evgeny Malik. He's not here. Germany's Daniel Scheil is certainly here. Only made his debut a couple of years ago. Terrific crowd in. They'll make lots of noise. They're involved in every event. And women's javelin, F56. Big field in this one. Quality field of 12. And Martina Willing holds most of the records that matter. Both the F55 and F56. Seated position for this. The throwers in the F56 class have an increased trunk and leg function. That certainly helps with the throwing events. And they've come from all over for this one as well. Panama, Latvia, United States, China, Iran, Brazil, Bulgaria, Germany, Mali, Croatia, Nigeria's Nadia Medmej, already a bronze medalist at these games. And there's Martina Willing. Will be difficult to beat in this one. Martina Willing, by the way, one of the few Paralympians to have won summer and winter medals. Saw United States Angela Madsen wheeling past. Best of 21:20. Maybe a threat. British flags on display, and they've had plenty of reason to be waving proudly on the first few days. GB's had a great time here at the Engine now, picking up plenty of medals and breaking some records along the way. And as usual, plenty of yellow and green shirts amongst the crowd.
Crowds have been excellent, very encouraging for the Paralympic Games athletics. The first final of the night, the men's 100 metres T36. And the reigning world champion goes in this, the reigning world record holder. Like his teammates, not here. But it's a strong competitive field in this. The world champion, Mohamed Pouzi of Malaysia, goes in this. The former Paralympic champion, Roman Pavlik of Ukraine. And Graham Ballard, who won silver at London 2012. Che Mian, gold in the 400 meters back in the World Championships in 2002. Graham Ballard of Great Britain, among the favourites for this, has never won a championship gold. But then neither is the man from Uberlandia here, who's really rousing the crowd. He'll be introduced shortly. Yang Yifei of China in 2. Silver in the 100 meters at the Asian Oceania Championships this year. Here's the former Paralympic Games champion in the 1 and the 4 in Beijing. Won the gold and the long jump at London 2012. That's Roman Pavlik. Very good in the long jump, but here is the reigning world champion. He's a great, effervescent athlete. It's the Malaysian Tiger, Mohamed Pouzi. Gold in the 1 in Doha, really popular. Gold again also in Dubai in the Asia Oceania Championships. Here's Che Mian, that 400 meters world champion from 2002. For Nicaragua, one of 3 athletes from that nation in the entire Paralympic Games. 5th in the 800 in Doha, Gabriel Cuadra-Holman. Rodrigo Pereira da Silva, 4th in the long jump at the Worlds. Went out in the heats of the 1 and the 2 in Doha at the World Championships. For Brazil, for Uberlandia, Rodrigo Pereira da Silva. Silver in the 1 and the 2 in the Europeans in Grosseto, and in the previous Europeans in Swansea 2 years ago. Silver in the 100, London 2012. Graham Ballard for Great Britain, and Zhu Ran from Beijing for China. Silver in the long jump in the 2011 World Championships in Christchurch. That's the field then for the final of the men's 100 meters T36. And what a popular world champion Mohamed Pouzi was in Doha. A lot of his teammates have gathered around the finish line and did so 20 minutes ago. Yang in 2, Pavlik 3, Mohamed Pouzi 4, Che 5, Cuadra-Holman 6, Pereira da Silva 7, Ballard 8, Zhu Ran in 9. The final of the men's 100 meters T36. Full start. I think that might have been Roman Pavlik, you know, out of lane 3, who's got immense experience. He has won in his career 9 global golds, and he stumbled, and I think he'll get a red card for that. Very strict IAAF rules. Excellent in the long jump. European, Paralympic, and world champion in that. Man alongside Mohamed Pouzi, an exceptional champion. And it is red, and it is Roman Pavlik who has been dispatched bronze in this final in London. The champion from Beijing 2008. It's the cerebral palsy category, it's T36. It's the second most impaired, or the 3rd strongest of the 4 standing cerebral palsy categories. Unfortunately, that will happen, but it is full, strict IAAF rules at the start of this. And Roman Pavlik's been disqualified for the false start. So Yang in 2, Mohamed Pouzi in 4, Che in 5, Cuadra-Holman 6, Pereira da Silva 7, Ballard 8, Zhu Ran in 9. Well, now they're away, and watch out for Mohamed Pouzy. He's had a great start, and so is the Brazilian Pereira da Silva. Here goes Mohamed Pouzy and Yang Yinfei also for China. Great battle between these two. It'll be Mohamed Pouzy, the Paralympic champion. Yang Yinfei, the silver. Rodrigo Pereira da Silva, the bronze for Brazil. But Mohamed Pouzy, the world champion, is now the Paralympic champion too. He's done it in a Paralympic Games record, 12:07. There's all the Malaysian fans. There's the Malaysian flag. What a popular winner he'll be.
He so badly wanted to do this for his country. He knew where the flag was and where his supporters were. He's raced over there. 12:07, a new Paralympic record for Mohamed Ridwan Pouzy. And this is Malaysia's first medal at these games, and it's gold. He got away very well, so did Yang Yifei to his left, and he certainly had some running to do to get past him. He finally did with about 20 to go and brought it home nicely in a cracking time. And straight away he turns to his supporters near the finish line, just below us, holds his form. Quick look at the clock, and then it's all about the celebration and what it means to him and his country, and it means plenty.
An immensely popular champion. He's saluting his fans in the crowd and his teammates and his colleagues. He was such a popular champion in Doha. I cannot overemphasize how much. You wait until he gets on the podium. It was a fabulous start from him and from Yang Yinfei, and also from Pereira of Brazil, who certainly fed off the enthusiasm. But this is where Mohamed Pouzy really came into his own. This was the 1-2 in Dubai in the Asia Oceania Championships back in April. Great celebrations for the Malaysian. Also from Pereira da Silva for Brazil. He knew where the flag was, and he knows where the finish line is.
Well, some really quick times offered by the top four. All sorts of bests there.
Paralympic record for Mohamed Pouzy, 12:07 with the gold for Malaysia. Yang Yinfei, the silver for China, 12:20. Rodrigo Pereira da Silva, the bronze for Brazil.
F20 shot put. As for athletes with an intellectual impairment, Todd Hodgetts of Australia holds the world and Paralympic record at 16:29, and he's in the field, so he should be tough to beat, but he's joined by some quality throwers from Sweden, Malaysia, Greece, France and Ecuador. Jeffrey Eger from Stockholm in Sweden, second 4 years ago. Won in Christchurch at the Worlds in 2011. Pacing around beside him is Todd Hodgetts. Can he defend? He won in London with a distance of 16:29. He won in Doha with 15:85. Mohamed Zulkifli from Malaysia might be riding some recent enthusiasm, I think. He was third in London. And Demetrios Senakidis, second in Doha, 15:45 he can throw. Damien Rameau of France, 28-year-old from Perpignan. Estratios Nikolaidis, fourth 4 years ago, just out of the medals. He'll want one badly here. And Stalin David Mosquera of Ecuador, third in the Pan Am Games last year in Toronto. Just 18 from Ibarra. That'll be a good competition. A fabulous crowd here. If they keep turning up in these numbers, they'll have to start opening up more of the upper deck. And they have, for this session, to our right, opened up part of it.
I'd say probably the upper tier, and there's still crowds flooding in. The waves going around the stadium as well, but I'd say probably 60% of the upper tier behind the finish line's open. That's the south stand here. Pretty much the entire lower tier, all of the lower tier of that south stand, and the east stand on the back straight, far side, and most of the north stand. In fact, most of the bottom tier, full stop, is full, which is brilliant. That's around 20,000 capacity, 25,000. I mean, which is great. I know we were spoiled by London and those 60,000, 80,000 crowds every single day. We'd never had that for a Paralympic Games before, every single session. What we're getting here is quite marvellous too.
So Ige of Sweden, who will be first up in the men's shot F20, is waiting for the go-ahead. And the world record holder, Todd Hodgetts, will be second into the ring. Hodgetts the only man who's been putting the shot over 16 metres. But Jeffrey Ige at 32, big strong man, and has had a world championship to his credit, 2011 in Christchurch. Personal best of 15.71. Due to get underway about now, so away we go. Men's shot put, F20. And Jeffrey Ige from Stockholm, Sweden. Look for a settler over 15 metres to get into this competition. Well, maybe 14 something. Just past the 14 ribbon. Got to have plenty of nerves coming into Paralympic competition. This is as big a stage as it gets. So they might be building into it. That's often what happens. And we'll go over and get a little bit of advice. We've got a medal presentation though. And the men's long jump. This event took place earlier in the day. Daniil Saliev jumped a personal best of 7 meters 4. He was fourth in Incheon, 22-year-old. Had a chance with his final jump to maybe improve his position, but lost his rhythm on the runway. But a personal best, can't squabble with his effort in this great final, vision impaired event. Kamil Aliyev from Azerbaijan came in as the reigning world champion. Jumped 7 meters 13 in Doha last year. Almost found that distance. 7:05. So he beat Saliev for the silver medal by just 1 centimeter. So Hilton Langenhoven, 33 years of age from Cape Town, adds another gold in the long jump to that T1 in Beijing. And 7:07 he leapt with his third attempt and held on from there to claim the gold for South Africa. Congratulations to Hilton Langenhoven, Kamil Aliev and Donior Saliev. Gold, silver and bronze in the men's long jump T12. Langenhoven now with 2 Paralympic gold medals and 2 World Championships in the long jump. Crowd standing by for should be another medal presentation shortly. Claudini. This event came to a very satisfying conclusion for the host nation, with Claudini Batista dos Santos taking central place on the podium. Alireza Gala Nasiri of Iran and Leonardo Diaz of Cuba. Diaz, who held the Paralympic record coming into the event, but he was surpassed by Batista dos Santos. Diaz had won the 2 previous Paralympic titles, Beijing and London. His third attempt of 43.58 was his best effort in this final. Well, he has to pass the baton today over to his Brazilian rival. Bronze it'll be, but he's certainly been at the top a long time. Gallinaceri had a published personal best of just 39 meters 30 coming into this. Well, he's put it out there 44 meters and 4 centimeters in the men's discus. Massive improvement. I suspect he's been training well beyond his personal best to come up with a distance like that. Mind you, these games have been bringing out the best in the athletes. So it's gold for Claudine Batista dos Santos. Second at the World Championships last year, 4th in London. And when it comes to Rio, he is the man. Men's discus, F56. And it should be a rousing Brazilian national anthem. Beautifully done. Congratulations to this wonderful crowd at the engine now, acclaiming Claudine Batista dos Santos for his victory in the men's discus F56 ahead of Gallinaceri of Iran and Cuba's Leonardo Diaz. Batista dos Santos kept his cool, kept his emotions in check, but now he's loving the moment. So we've got the men's shot put F20 truly underway now. Oh, that's a good heave from Malaysia's Zulkifli. Had a best of 15.78 coming into the competition. He was third 4 years ago, bronze medalist in London. And he's broken the world record with a 16.40. Well, that's thrown out the challenge to the previous record holder, Todd Hodgetts. And he's just going out to check what's happened here. The bad news is he's got serious competition, but that's good news for everybody who likes a good fight. Hodgetts puts one out, not quite as far though as Zolkefli. Hodgetts drives across the ring, gives it his best heave. This could be quite a night for Malaysia. 15:42. He's a fair way short of Zolkefli. Zolkefli 16:40 with his first attempt and a world record. Second round throw. Zolkefli. Oh, and again, it's way out there. So 16:40 in the very first round. And Zolkefli it's not quite a match for his world record throw in the opening attempt. No, indeed, just under 16 metres. Hodgetts, in fact, sitting in third position because Senakidis of Greece has thrown 15:51, 9 centimetres further than Hodgetts. So Senakidis gets his bearing, second at the World Championships last year with a 15:45. Looks to be well in advance of 15 metres. Keeps his balance well. And just past 16, so that's a new regional record for Senakidis. This shot put competition is turning into a good battle.
The final of the women's 100 metres T34, and a great champion. The rest have to try and overturn. And that's her name. The world record holder, the Paralympic record holder, Hannah Cockcroft. It's a really good field. 3 from Great Britain in this: Cockcroft, Tate and Adenegan. Rosemary Little from Australia's improved as time's gone by. Joyce Lefebvre won 2 medals in the Europeans in Grosseto. Let's run through the field. Lane 2 from Japan, Haruka Kitara. Silver in the 1 and 2 in the World Championships in Christchurch in 2011. 6 in the 100 metres in Doha. Went out in the rounds, early rounds in London. United States, Williamsburg, Virginia. Silver in the 1 and the 4 behind Cockcroft. In Doha at the Worlds, Alexa Halko. Carly Tate is the European 800 metres champion from Grosseto. Silver in the 1 and the 4 from Manchester with Stockport Harriers for Great Britain. Out of Coventry, Carrie Adenegan, the only athlete in 8 years to beat Hannah Cockcroft. Bronze in the 4 and the 8 in the Worlds, behind Cockcroft in the Worlds in Doha. From the Netherlands, Amy Siemens, bronze in the 100 metres at the Worlds in Doha. Silver in the 1 and the 2 at London 2012, behind Cockcroft. Rosemary Little of Australia from Sydney lives there, coaches Louis Sauvage. Silver in the 200, bronze in the 100 in the Worlds in Lyon in 2013. But here is the reigning World and Paralympic champion. 2 golds at London 2012. 7 world titles, fully concentrated, Hannah Cockcroft. And from Belgian, Joyce Lefebvre, who won bronze in the 100 and 400 in the Europeans in Grosseto in June. Cockcroft was absent from there, because the mind's been fixed on just one thing, and it begins here and now. Katara in 2, Halko 3, Tate 4, Adenegan 5, Seaman 6, Little 7, Cockcroft 8, Lefebvre in 9. The final of the women's 100 metres, T34. Well, they are away, and Hannah Cockcroft's got off very strongly, and Adenegan also, and the main battle looks like it's going to be between these two. Cockcroft's got up very well. Adenegan up with it, but now Cockcroft fires away. It's going to be a successful defence of her title from London. Hannah Cockcroft's got her first gold in Rio. 17:43 is a new Paralympic Games record. And Adenegan up there with a silver medal. I think Halko was up with the bronze for the United States, but it's gold again for Hannah Cockcroft, and that is her 10th global gold medal of her career, her 3rd Paralympic Games title, 1742. Gold and silver to Britain, and Halko got the bronze.
Yes, the medals keep coming the way of GB, and for Hannah Cockcroft, it only took half a dozen pushes for her to stamp her authority on the race. She got a good start, so too did Adenegan. And the two Great Britain athletes had it between them, really. But Cockcroft living up to expectations and favouritism and smashing the Paralympic record that was 18:06, now 17:42. Not unexpected, but impressively delivered.
She got away very strongly indeed, and her big fear was that the only athlete who was going to beat her would be a teammate, but Adenegan came through in 2nd place in the end. Adenegan's still very young. She's only 15 years old, turned 16 a few days after Christmas Day. Solid start by Cockcroft. Little tried to get out of the blocks as swift, but Cockcroft is a brilliant starter, best in this category, and away she went. The awareness certainly there that Adenegan 3 lanes down would be getting off to something similar, but away she went quickly, and she wasn't going to be denied from there. And Hannah Cockcroft successfully defends the title that she won in front of that raucous stadium.
The bronze medal going to Alexa Halko, the United States, by 100th of a second from Amy Siemens of the Netherlands. 1881 to 1882, and a season best for the Dutch competitor.
Hannah Cockcroft is the Paralympic champion again, 17.42, a new Paralympic record. Adenegan, silver for Britain. Halko the bronze for the United States by 100th, ahead of Amy Siemens in 4th.
Competition continuing in the men's shot put. Todd Hodges. He's got a battle on his hands here. Sitting now in 3rd or 4th position. It's only just over 14 metres. An intimidating start made by Mohamed Zulkifli of Malaysia, who's broken the world record previously held by Hodges, and that was not his best. Can throw over 16 metres, well shy of that, with a 14.84.
The final of the men's 100 metres, T33. And just like the previous final, 3 go in this for Great Britain. The world champion and world record holder, Paralympic record holder, goes in this, Ahmed Al-Matari, out of lane 2. European champion Toby Gold for Great Britain. Al-Matari, reigning world champion from Doha. That world record set in the Said Al Samain Stadium back in September, but also Paralympic record holder from London 2012. Dennis Schmitz of Germany, he's from Unna. His dad got involved. It's his first major championship for the 24-year-old. It was gold for gold in Grosseto. Toby Gold in the 100 meters. Reigning European champion. Bronze in Doha at the Worlds. Lane 5 for Kuwait. Nasser Salah, 4th in the shot, 10th in the discus and javelin in the last Asian Games, but 5th in the 100 meters in Doha, and he's concentrating on the track now. Lane 6, Daniel Bramwell for Great Britain. Silver behind gold in Grosseto in the European Championships, and silver in Doha in the 100 meters behind Al-Matari at the Worlds. John Roberts in the United States, based in Eugene, Oregon. Great athletics town in his own right, his first major championship. And in lane 8 for Great Britain, bronze in the 100 meters in that British clean sweep in the Euros in Grosseto. It's Andrew Small. Stockport Harriers his club. He's from Cheshire in the northwest of England. It could be a repeat act from what happened in Grosseto, or perhaps a repeat act from Doha if Al-Matari wins. So Al-Matari 2, Schmitz 3, Gold 4, Salah 5, Bramwell 6, Roberts 7, Small 8. The final of the men's 100 meters, T33, the second strongest of the wheelchair cerebral palsy categories. And they're away the first time of asking. Small has got off very well for Great Britain, and gold as well for Great Britain. Now here comes Al-Matari for Kuwait, and he's flying in lane 2. The world champion is going to get Paralympic gold. Very fast Al-Matari. Gold with the silver and Small with the bronze. 16:61 is a new Paralympic Games record. Kuwait the gold, Britain the silver and the bronze, and Al-Matari's top of the pile again.
Well, it's not a surprise that he's smashed that Paralympic record. It's been sitting there for 4 years, waiting to be broken as the field improved, and Al-Matari in lane 2. Good start also by Toby Gold, but it's about at this point that Al-Matari found his true form and top speed, and through he came in 16:61. The former Paralympic record 17:67, so just over a second, and a battle for second and third. It was a good one between Gold and Small. So silver for Gold, if you understand, and Andrew Small the bronze, but he's too good. Ahmed Al-Matari.
The Al-Matari breaks his own Paralympic record. Not the defending champion in this. The 33s had to step up to T34, the stronger, less impaired category 4 years ago, and he went out in the opening round but set the Paralympic record in that. Well, he set the Paralympic record here, and he's won gold, and he got away very well indeed. It's been a lot of work in strengthening this category in the last 4 years, and you can see the strength. Obviously, you can compare also with the women T34s from earlier. Just a slightly slower start for them, but once he got going, he stayed going. Shot away from gold. His main battle then was to try and win the race for second. Al-Matari excellently through, and the Asian Games champion, the world champion, is now the Paralympic Games champion too. Gold for Al-Matari, 16:61. Silver, 4 gold, 17:84. Bronze for Small, 17:98. Britain 2-3-4, Kuwait the gold.
Men's shot put, F20 continues. And Dimitrios Senakidis has already thrown a personal best as he pushes it out again towards 16 metres. Senakidis came in with a best of 15:68. Second throw was 16.06. Now 16.17. So that's a new European record.
Yeah, all those familiar yellow and green shirts.
Damien Rameau of France. 11th 4 years ago. So just over 12 metres for him. And from Perpignan through 11.36 at the World's, beg your pardon, at the Paralympics in London. 13.46. And for Rameau, that's actually a personal best as well, by a couple of centimetres. So the chalk and powder being liberally applied. Stalin David Mosquera, a young man from Ecuador, grabbed a third at the Pan American Games. Capable of 15.5 metres or so on his very best day. And that's just over 14. So Mosquera not challenging our top three at the moment. Tries to keep it low, drives across the ring. Stands up nicely. So Mosquera sitting in 6th position after that 14.23. We go back to the track.
It's the men's 200 metres T42. This among the leg amputee categories. 2 heats, semi-finals in this, and the world record holder is in the 1st. That's Richard Whitehead, the reigning European, world and Paralympic champion. But also in this, the Asian Games champion. Here's Daniel Wagner of Denmark. Richard Whitehead, European, world, Paralympic Games champion. Brilliant 200 metres champion from London 2012. Much more comfortable, I think, over 2 than 1. Desmond Jackson from the United States. 3 Iowa's World Junior medals. Here's Anil Prasanna Yodapedagi of Sri Lanka, the Asian Games champion and the Pan Am champion for the United States. His coach, Joachim Cruz, and that's Shakil Vance. The Pan Am champion he is. And just about every other title of note he has. World record set in London at the anniversary games in July. 23:03, the Paralympic record set at London 2012 by Whitehead in winning. You remember his celebration on the line. 24:38. So the top 3 to qualify for the final, and the next 2 across the heats. Vance, Yoda, Jackson, Whitehead, Wagner. And away they go. Very solid start by Yoda. Jackson trying to get into a stride. Whitehead always does brilliantly once he goes into the closing straight. And here he comes, Richard Whitehead hits the front, ahead of Yodapedagi, and bounces in 2nd place. And Whitehead's just streaming. It's going to be fast. It's going to be so close to his world record, but a Paralympic record nonetheless. 23:08. 500ths outside his world record, and now it's 400ths that's been rounded down, and that set the stall out for the rest. He's taken over 1¼ seconds off his Paralympic record. He's getting his celebration ready for the final, isn't it? 23:07, Richard Whitehead all the way. Vance was 2nd. Wow.
I think he liked that run. He's pretty pleased with the time, his performance, the outcome. And you know, you look at the ages of the athletes in this round one event. Desmond Jackson just 16, and Whitehead getting better as the years pass, it would seem. He's 40 and just has to safely negotiate his way around the bend, because once he hits the straight and really go to work, and he just motors away from the field. And a 23.07, and second was 24.65, so he's won it by a second and a half. Paralympic record. Vance for the USA, an American record, and a personal best for Daniel Wagner of Denmark. So yet again the records fall, and you can see this close relationship between technology and Paralympic sport was so beautifully demonstrated in the opening ceremony, with the different prosthetics designed to suit the different abilities of the athletes.
Well, the finger out, pointing to the crowd as he crossed the line. And I'm not going to be pedantic, but if he hadn't done that, he'd probably broken the world record. As it stands, I made that the second fastest of all time. Mustn't grumble, 23.07. He's saving the big stuff for the final. Richard Whitehead back on form. He's so smooth when he gets going. Paralympic record 23.07. Vance in second place for the United States. Wagner third for Denmark. And Yoda forces his way into the final in fourth.
Back we go to the shot put, F20. Rameau of France. Competition at this stage still being led by the man who put out a new world record in his opening throw, Mohamed Ziad Zulkifli of Malaysia. 12.68 with the fourth attempt from Rameau. So they're going in reverse order now after they're qualifying through the first three attempts. So Zulkifli going last. Next up, Mosquera of Ecuador. 14.23 was his fourth attempt. From Ibarra in Ecuador. Out over 14 meters, and considering he's not yet 20, must have a great future in these strength events. Plenty of power already. And a great experience for him at his first Paralympic Games. 14.30, so the improvement still coming from him.
The second heat of the men's 200 meters T42, with Richard Whitehead showing the way to go. In this, Regis Woods of the United States, bronze of the long jump at the World Championships. She's the reigning para long jump champion. We've got Ntenda Malago of South Africa's first major championship. But some golds, 3 of them at the Iowa Under 23 World Championships. Now this is Upalapara Gidara of Sri Lanka. Bronze in the 1 and 2 in the Asian Games 2014. And David Henson, silver in the 200 meters at the European Championships in Grosseto. And at the World Championships in Doha, he carried the flag. Top 3 to automatically qualify for the final. Henson looking to join his compatriot Richard Whitehead in the decider. Henson in 3, Aparana Gadara in 4, Melango in 5, and Regis Woods in lane 6. So away they go. Henson very slow out of the blocks, but he can get into his stride brilliantly. Itsupala Barakadara of Sri Lanka. He's still in the army, just like Yoda, going brilliantly at the moment. But now the rest will straighten up. Malango in second place. Here will come Henson quickly. Henson with a chance to speed up. And Malango as well. Malango coming away to win this. Regas Woods in second place. And Henson in third. They'll all go through. 24.15. The winning time. That inside the time that won the last Paralympic Games for Richard Whitehead. But Malango, once he got going, not like Whitehead. Very calm, very clear. Regas Woods and Henson joining him in the decider.
I'm not sure, Will, that David Henson doesn't have a problem with running out of the lane. As he came out of the turn, he lost a little bit of control, and we'll see how that's assessed. But Ntando Malango of South Africa, impressive in the victory. Abarana Gadara. No, it's Henson at the moment has been credited with the third. But just watch as they come around the bend here. Whether he didn't step out of the area. No, yes, he did, but it's behind.
He did. No, well, he did. He went into the Sri Lankan's lane, so the stewards will watch that.
Yeah, there was no interference with the man in front of him, but we'll leave that to the officials to make the call.
Well, he was directly behind Abarana, who went into the Sri Lankan's lane by that stage. And Abarana had a brilliant start, leading at that stage, but once the men behind got into their stride, once they got the balance, they're just so sheer and so fast.
Some of these blades, you're talking five-figure sums to have them made and delivered to you. They're expensive, but they can bring you results once you get the right ones. Exotic materials, clever design, and a pretty good top speed once they hit the straight.
Good result for the South African. His first major championship at the IPC level. Malango wins 24.15. Regas Woods second, 25.19. And David Henson in third, 25.26. These are the qualifiers for the final. Richard Whitehead primed and ready to go. 23.07. Paralympic Games record and just 400ths outside the world record he set 2 months ago in London. Really, 6 weeks ago in London.
Back with the action in the F20 men's shot put. And Zalkefli has already broken the world record once with a mighty heave of 16.40 with his first attempt. Zalkefli, oh, that's huge! Wait a minute, what's he done here? The old mark was 16.29 of Todd Hodgetts. And Mohamed Zalkefli, the 26-year-old from Kuala Lumpur, has flown the shot put through the night air at the Enginau. This is well over 16 metres. 16.84. And the world record goes again. He's beaten his 16.40 by 44 centimetres. Now, back to Mosquera from Ecuador. Fine effort from him. Still trying to get out to his 15 metres that we know he can do. In fact, the season best, so that 15.43 has come this year, but Mosquera just hasn't quite been able to dial into it in this final. And a 14.79. He improved across the board from a foul into the 13 and then 14 and 14.79. Jeffrey Eget, on the other hand, took until the fourth round to get to 15.30. Eget fouled with his fifth attempt, sitting in fifth position. And Eget from Stockholm, the 15.08. So good 2 out of the last 3 throws to get ready for another medal presentation.
This is the men's 100 meters, T36. First final of the night. This is going to be a great celebration. Hard to imagine a more popular champion from the Worlds in Doha last October. And the man who's about to get the gold medal here shortly.
Back to shot put. Oh, and that's a foul. He's fallen out the front of the ring, unfortunately. Nikolaidis, who was sitting in fourth position. And when that happens, that's that. That's why you see them trying to spin, keep the weight rotating and coming around back into the safe area. But he fouled with his first and last, and a 15.69 was his best. Had him in the medals for a good while. Now, Dimitris Senakidis. Senakidis in silver medal position. Again out towards the old Paralympic record of 16.29. He's had a best so far of 16.17. And he's sitting behind our leader, Zalkefli. And his final throw looks to be just over 16 metres, 16.01. And a silver medal it will be for Dimitris Senakidis from Yanitsa. And the Malaysian, the tears are starting to flow. I don't think he wants another go. He's got an attempt left. Doesn't need it. He's broken the world record twice. I think he's waved it away. Doesn't need it. He's absolutely taken this final by the throat. Broken the world record twice. He's overcome with emotion. He's indicated to the officials, no more please. I've done more than I want, more than I need. And that will be the end of the competition, I think. I think it's pretty sure he said that's it. And some Malaysian supporters in that section of the crowd. So what an evening for Malaysia. And for Zalkefli from Kuala Lumpur. What a thrill. He was third 4 years ago.
Well, it's been some night for Malaysia. And they're about to pick up, officially, a gold medal here. There's massive celebrations around the stadium. There's quite a Malaysian representation here. Mohamed Bouzi's glancing across, having seen his compatriot enjoy brilliant glory. Dwayne Cale of the IPC governing board and Fernando Cotrim, Rio 2016 director. That's our presentation party. Men's 100 meters T36. Rodrigo Pereira da Silva. The day after his 22nd birthday, gets a fabulous present of bronze. It was a new South American record of 12:54 for Pereira da Silva. This the second most impaired of the cerebral palsy categories. Third strongest rated of the standing CP events, this 36. And what a popular medalist. It's not even the gold. He won silver in Dubai at the Police Club Stadium there in the Asia Oceania Championships in April. That was his first major event. This is first Paralympic Games. A few short months later, he's got the silver medal. 12:20 was very impressive. It was inside the old Paralympic record of Roman Pavlik, who false started and was red carded in this decider. Look at his face. Mohamed Bouzi's a Paralympic champion to go with his world gold from Doha in October. Glorious victory. Caught the glasses as well. It's got everything right tonight. 12:07, a new Paralympic record. I dare say a new Asian record as well. He can hear you. A brilliant reception for a man as popular a champion as he was in Doha. Even more so here, I bet. Mohamed Bouzi of Malaysia is our Paralympic champion. A truly magnificent champion, Mohamed Ridwan Mohamed Bouzi. For Malaysia, and it's gold.
In the field, we have the women's long jump T42. Malu Perez Isa from Cuba. And she was a rhythmic gymnast before her accident. This a long jump T42. Amputation of lower limbs is what helps define this category. Field of 10 in this one. Malu Perez Isa from Holguin in Cuba. And she's 30 years of age now. And Ana Claudia Silva representing Brazil. Fourth in Doha. And her hero, Teresina Guilhermina, a high-profile Brazilian athlete. Silva with the best of 3.85 meters. And Silva not amongst the favourites here in this event. We've got athletes regularly jumping over 4 meters. And at the moment, competition being led by Vanessa Loh of Germany. Olivia de Klerk of Belgium. Only been competing a couple of years. Best of 341. And de Klerk 7th at the World Championships in Doha. Still waiting to get the green light. The athletes from Germany, Japan, Italy, USA, Cuba, Brazil and Belgium in this final. De Klerk's on her way. The Paralympic record held by an athlete who's not here at the moment, Kelly Cartwright of Australia. She's taking a break from competition. Set a record of 4:38 in London. Vanessa Loh owns the world record, set just last year, 4:79. 2:94 for Olivia de Klerk. As we go back to the track again.
Wheelchair racing always catches the imagination at the Paralympics. There's no exception. The men's 400 meters T53. This is the strongest category of wheelchair racing. There are 3 heats in this. The first 2 and the next 2 fastest qualify for the final. Well, in this, the twice Paralympic Games champion, once world champion, Richard Coleman of Australia, and the former Paralympic Games champion in this, Hamad Al-Adwani of Kuwait. The 100 meters champion, Brent Lakatos of Canada. The man who won silver in the 400 meters in the World Championships in Doha, but won gold in the 1, 2 and 8. And here's Richard Coleman. He's been winning major championships since the 2004 Paralympics in Athens. Even an AFL umpire now knows the rules. First man to do that from a chair. Paralympic Games champion in 04 in the 8 and 2012 in the 8. So Ewan 2, Coleman 3, Lakatos 4, Seaman 5, Al-Adwani 6, Young 7, Crunchen 8. Away we go. Thailand very strong in Doha in the wheelchair racing. He finished 8th in the 100 meters, but He's won 4x1 and 4x4 goals, did the double in Athens, and he's away very strongly, Krunjet, as well. Lakatos is going brilliantly for Canada. Out of lane 4, looks certainly visually to be the leader at the moment. If you take the diagonal line, look at how far in front he is. He's absolutely streaming Brett Lakatos for Canada. Well, he's got to win this. It's only the top 2 who go through, but he's stamping his claim for gold straight away. Lakatos turning. Well back in second place. Seaman moving up now for the United States. But it's Brett Lakatos who's going to win this very convincingly. It's 50-47. He's up on the line. Seaman in second place. They go through. You in third place will have to wait. 50-47. Very, very comfortable indeed.
Well, Lakatos is in some kind of form in Rio. He's absolutely blitzed that. 50-47. Well, I'll just ease back a little bit from saying he's blitzed it, because it's well outside Paralympic record. But he certainly had control of the race early on. And the interesting thing about it is he only had to push 4 or 5 times through the last 40 metres. So much was his lead. And Yushiran coming down on the inside in lane 2. Lakatos across now, and you got run down in the end by Brian Seaman of the United States.
It was just freewheeling in the end, wasn't he, Brent Lakatos? He'd done the work in the first 300, and in the final bend didn't really have much else to do.
Very good awareness of the rest of the field. I guess if you can count to 7, you can count up the number of fellas you've passed. And he got by them all quite quickly.
Well, basically, the first 200 he glided through. That red tape, by the way, it's covering the Olympic rings, which are not allowed wear in this event. So he's got the win very capably and comfortably.
Now back to the women's long jump T42, and Martina Caoroni, although she was not really a top 10 contender 4 years ago, a year later she won the World Championships in Lyon. And that's well past 4 minutes. She's got a best of 4:60. And hit the board well there. Be looking to challenge, if possible, almost indomitable Vanessa Lowe. And 4:60 it is. Lowe leading with a 4:76. Lacey Henderson of the United States from Phoenix, Arizona. Season's best is a personal best, 3:48. 2 top 5 finishes at the last 2 World Championships for Henderson. And Henderson was close to a foul there, and a foul it is. She had a first of 3:32, fouls with the second attempt. That's the leading edge of the prosthesis touching the plasticine, so that's all right. She's got 1 in the book, but would need a good third jump. It's a field of 10, so a couple are going to drop out before we get to the second half of the competition. Kaide Mayagawa, 18 years of age, from Japanese town of Tsu. Played a lot of basketball before her accident, so she was some kind of athlete before moving to Paralympic sport. She mistimed the run there. She was quite well behind the board for the takeoff. Gives a self-deprecating smile. It was just lost the rhythm of the run-up, failed to hit the board. and will need to do better with the next. Got a foul and 289, so it's a modest start.
Brent Lakatos very, very comfortable indeed. And in the final 100 meters, no need to give it 100%. He had the race won a long time ago. It's the top two going through. Nothing for a fast time here apart from our congratulations. Very much job done. Lakatos wins 50.47. Seaman in second place in the United States, 51.30. Yu and Young will have to wait. The second heat to the men's 400 meters T53 features the Asian World and Paralympic champion from London 2012, Li Huzhao of China. Mickey Bushell in this also, the 100 meters champion from London 2012. Pongsurin Payo of Thailand, silver in the 100 here, and silver in the 2 in the World Championships in Doha, bronze in this 400 meters. Miranda of Canada, Li Huzhao, the reigning champion at Asian, World and Paralympic level, Li Huzhao, who won bronze in the 100 meters. The quadruple Asian Games champion, double world champion. Josh George, United States in 4, and Nicolas Brignon of France in 3. So where we go, the top two to go through out of Brignon in 3, George 4, Li 5, Miranda 6, Payo 7, Bushell in 8. Solid start by the Chinese. Li Huzhao straight away, as you'd expect. And also Payo of Thailand, considering their heritage in wheelchair racing and how well they did in Doha in the World Championships. Li and Payo off to the best start. Bushell trying to keep track out of lane 8. All those successes he had in London 2012. But it's the shorter distances that he tends to excel in. George trying to fight back well for the United States. And Brignon of France also. But as they straighten up, it's Payo of Thailand who leads. It's Li of China in second place. It's George of the United States in third. And Pongsurin Payo is coming through to win for Thailand. 48.39 is fast. Li in second place. George in third. That's impressive. 48.39. It's 2 seconds faster than Brent Lakatos in the opening heat.
There's Payo and Li of Thailand and China. A bit more serious about the pace in this one. Payo came around the bend in his lane 7, 2 across in 5, Li Huzhao. And then Joshua George. Maybe actually in the last 20 metres or so, Payo increased his lead over Li. As you say, 2 seconds and change quicker than the opening heat. Different attitude, different time.
Yeah, Payo won silver in the 100 metres here behind Brent Lakatos. And 3 medals at the World Championships in Doha, silver in the 2 and the 4x4. And Josh George got up very well. We've already seen him in the T54 and the 5,000 metres semi-finals. He was a guest in that. Back in his own category for this. And Payo, great rhythm from the Thai. He eased up going over the line too. There's a bit more left in the tank. How impressive he was. A good margin of victory as well. Over a second clear of Li in second place. And they're the two who go through to the final.
Back to the long jump, women's T42. And Vanessa Lowe, 4.76 with her opening jump, just 3 centimetres away from her world record of 4.79. Vanessa Lowe on her way. Oh, drives off the board with a big jump, Vanessa Lowe. This will be close to the world record. She was close enough with the first. Got plenty of height off the board. 26-year-old from Ratsburg, and then moved on to Leverkusen. Better training opportunities. And Vanessa Lowe, she knows it's good. It's better than good. It's 4:88, a new world record for the queen of this event, Vanessa Lowe of Germany.
Well, such a strong club she's with as well, Bayer Leverkusen. A lot of the great German regular medalists train out of there.
And this is Scout Bassett, 28-year-old from San Diego, although originally from China. Quite moving story about how she came to the United States. She was in an orphanage there and adopted by an American family at the age of 7. Uplifting story, really. Encourage you to find it and read it. But Scout Bassett with a foul with her first attempt. On her way with a second. And that's unfortunately it's a foul for Bassett. Didn't look to be with the naked eye, but there are people closer than us to make those decisions. So 2 fouls for Bassett. Really needs a good attempt with her third.
Setting the new standard, Pongsurin Payao of Thailand in the men's 400 meters T53, crossing the line 48.38. Still a little bit in the tank. And over a second clear of Li Huzhao of China, who also automatically qualifies. Jean-Philippe Miranda, 52.24. It's quite precarious for him. Mickey Bushell is out. Heat 3 of the men's 400 meters T53, the former European champion Mo Jomny of Great Britain, the former world and Paralympic champion Pierre Fairbank of France among the field here, and there's Brazilian representation also. Lane 8, Pierre Fairbank, 5th in the 100 meters final, but a Paralympic Games champion of the 200 meters way back in 2000 in Sydney, and silver in the 4. Silver in the 1 and the 4 in the Pan Am Games for Brazil. Arisvaldo Silva, he's being announced to the crowd as we see Atoshi Matsuanga of Japan, 8th in the 4 and the 800 at the World Championships. Mo Jomny, who won gold in the 4 in the Europeans in Swansea in 2014 and bronze in the 8. Silver in the 4 and the 8 in Grosseto, but gold in the 4x4 for Great Britain. Jomny 3, Zhao Yufei China 4, Yu of Korea 5, Matsunaga 6, Silva 7, Fairbank in 8. So away they go, the first 2 to qualify for the final. Fairbank away very well. Jomny also. Silva with a lot of attention going from in lane 7. And he started brilliantly too. The man who won silver on the double in the Pan Am Games in Toronto last July. Here goes Silva going very well in 7. And Fairbank in 8. Quite a gap between them and the rest. Zhao beginning to move up a little bit for China, but it's quite a considerable gap between these two. Fairbank way out on the outside in lane 8. But it didn't do Van Niekerk any bad in the 400 during the Olympic Games. Now a bit of movement coming from Zhao out of lane 4 for China. Silva's having to fight hard to defend his second place. Fairbank's going to win it. Zhao in second place. Silva in third. It's 49.07 the winning time. And it's Fairbank and Zhao into the final.
Well, Pierre Fairbank took into this race the quickest personal best time and the quickest season best. There he was out in lane 8, went out hard and stayed at it. And Zhao Yufei came at him from lane 4, and Silva in lane 7. Silva had a pretty good competitor to track around the 400. With Fairbank starting on his outside, but just simply couldn't keep pace with him. And Fairbank just had a A 2-second rest around the remainder of the home turn, and then went to work again. Make sure he beat Zhao across the line.
Yeah, very capable by Pierre Fairbank, this great veteran. 1998 World Championships in Birmingham when he first started winning medals, and he won the 4x1 there in the relay. Just glided through. Very good margin. And again, the real racing you expect will come in the final. A little smile on our moving camera as well. Perhaps just to say hello to the folks back home. Little look at the clock. He knows he can go faster. 49.06. It's an argument that the three winners haven't gone 100%. They will in the final. Don't worry about that. Full house as always. So Pierre Fairbank wins 49.06. Now, Yu has been disqualified there. He was coming through in 4th place. Zhao second. Payao, our fastest, 48.38 in qualifying for the final. Fairbank 49.06. And silver for Brazil, and Mo Jomny for Great Britain. Because of that disqualification, the two others to go through. Great champions right across the board, and we've about to get another gold medal here. The women's 100 meters T34 victory ceremony. Rafa Martins Vieira is the General Prosecutor of Rio de Janeiro State. Don't get on the wrong side of him. Luis Martin, the Commonwealth Games Federation President. Presentation party. Lexa Halker of the United States. Silver in the 1 and the 4 behind Cockcroft at the World Championships in Doha. And now in Rio, it is a bronze medal. Couple of prizes to bring back with her to Virginia. And worth pointing out that the bronze medalist here is 16 years old and a silver medalist is 15. Next generation arriving already. Cara Denigan, 15 years old, glued to a TV set, watching the lady to the right of her as we see it, win gold in London, and then beat Cockcroft at the London Grand Prix last year. Bronze in the 4 and the 8 at the Worlds. She's upgraded it to a silver in Rio. One country could dominate this event, this category, for years to come. Silver for Denigan. Hannah Cockcroft has only lost 1 race in 8 years, and this is her 3rd Paralympic title. Did the double in London, did a brilliant treble at the World Championships in Doha. She's doing longer distances now as well, as all the great wheelchair athletes do, and they do that, you know, in the 50s. Another truly tremendous display from Hannah Cockcroft, and she's got a golden tom, and she's got another gold medal. Hannah Cockcroft's done it again. Yes, that familiar anthem, that familiar smile, that familiar champion. The first medal for Cockcroft. It is not yet the last night of the Poms. She set the world to rights again. Gold for Cockcroft and silver for Adenaugen. Those two can dominate the landscape for a long, long time to come.
It's Great Britain firmly in second place on the medal table. Worlds between China and Ukraine, but 5 goals clear of Ukraine at the moment.
Victory ceremony for the men's 100 metres T33. More British medalists here, but they won't be in the top step of the podium this time. Same presentation party. Again, a man you want to be your friend, really. Commonwealth Games have featured wheelchair racing a lot. Well, it was a clean sweep for Great Britain at the European Championships in Italy, but Andrew Small, who won the bronze there, claims the bronze here. Daniel Bramall, who won the silver in Grosseto, finishing 4th on this occasion as Small took the bronze medal. Toby Gold, not quite living up to his name this time, but he will happily take a Paralympic Games silver to go with his European gold medal. It's an upgrade on the bronze from the Worlds in Doha 11 months ago. As Gold wins silver, also a wheelchair basketball coach for the Richmond Knights underage sides. Ahmed Al-Matari of Kuwait, the world champion, wheels up the podium to receive his gold medal, a Paralympic record as well of 16:61, breaking his old mark from London 2012 by over a second. And Kuwait gets on the medals table with a fine piece of engineering by Al-Matari. Short and sweet. Very capable victory for Ahmed Al-Matari. Gold for Kuwait.
Picking up the action with the women's long jump T42, and it's a question of how far can you go, Vanessa Lowe. She's broken the world record once with that 488. Nearly broke it with her opening jump, the 476. Here she goes again. Oh, this is another good one from Lowe. And Lowe held the record at 479. Nearly broke it with her opening jump, 476. Did so with the second, 488. And for Lowe, a 493. Well, she's going to great lengths to break the world record. And doesn't even look too surprised and almost embarrassed that she's doing it. Now, Malu Perez Aisa of Cuba. Safely into the pit after a personal best of 366 before arriving here in Rio. And a 377 for Perez Aisa. So she's sitting in third position at the moment, second held by Martina Caironi. Now Scout Bassett again. That might be better. She had a couple of fouls first up. But, looks to be about 3 meters. Bounces lightly out of the pit, and very pleased to at least have one measured. Can go about half a meter further. But really, this has turned into a show by Vanessa Lowe. .493 has extended the world record by 14 centimeters. Caironi of Italy, the only other jumper to go over 4 meters. So de Klerk and Bassett, I'd expect to see them in the second half of the competition as they go to attempts 4, 5 and 6 in the women's long jump T42. Lacey Henderson. So the athletes just getting sorted here as they establish the order for the second half of the competition. Shortest jump to go first and the competition leader to go last. Got a thumbs up there. Lacey Henderson studied for a year in Argentina in 2009, so she's well familiar with South America. Best jump so far was her first. Fourth at the World Championships last year. Henderson on her way. Not too much of a reaction from her. Now she hit the board. Okay. a little bit slow on our screens to reflect the new order of jumping. But Henderson with a 3:19. Then it'll be Miyagawa of Japan. But we'll get back to that as we go to a 1500.
It's the final of the men's 1500 meters T38. This the strongest of the cerebral palsy standing categories. This was not competed for in London 2012. The T38s moved down to T37 and were all beaten by Michael McKillop there. But it's a good field this. We've got the European champion, Louis Radius, and the world champion, Abes Saidi, going in this. Christopher Venberg won silver in the 1500 meters of the Europeans. Most of this field have international medals to their name. 3 3/4 laps of the track. Starting with Basile Mounier of Belgium, and it's a good Belgian sporting name, this. The best international results, 7th in the 800 meters of the Europeans in Grosseto in June. He's a gardener by profession. Alongside the European champion over 800 and 1500 meters, Louis Radius of France, silver in the 1500 meters, bronze in the 8 in Doha. The Pan Am champion over 1500 meters from Toronto. For Canada, Mitchell Chase. He's a lifeguard by profession. For Australia, Dion Kenzie, the world record holder from Sydney on the 1st of April. Bronze in the 1500 in the last 2 world championships for Dion Kenzie from Tasmania. Alongside of the Czech Republic, 5th in the 1500 meters in the Euros, Daniel Heine, former footballer. Alongside him, from Mexico, 4th in the World Championships over 1500 in Doha. A bricklayer by trade, Angel Enriquez Torres from Mexico. Here is the world champion from Doha, and silver in the 800 meters for Tunisia, Abes Saidi. And silver in the 1500 meters of the European Championships, bronze in the 8. It's Christopher Weinberg of Denmark. Radius beat him in both those races. Can he get revenge here? Good quality field, this. The final of the men's 1500 meters. And they'll have to stand up. Not because of the call by our Mexican official Octavio, who does that quite regularly for the Mexican competitors. I'm amazed we heard him with a crowd of 30,000 here, but he has some voice. And we have some field here for the men's 1500 meters final. Weinberg, Saidi, Enriquez Torres, Heine, Kenzie, Chase, Radius and Mounier. Saidi taking his position on the inside, the world champion that they have to beat, but on his outside on his shoulder for Australia, Dion Kenzie. Very successful over the 1500 meters final in the last 2 global championships. Basile Mounier very strong at European level. 7th in the 800 meters final at the European Championships. And the Belgian Radius there also, the European champion over 8 and 1500 meters. Quite a slow pace to start off with, but it's not about times here. It's about the medal. Saidi, well, they're having to man-mark him, but he's made his move on the outside. Kenzie well positioned. Radius on his inside. They're trotting along well. 3 laps to go.
Well, Saidi went from about 1st to 6th in a couple of seconds, then had to weave his way out of the traffic and now move back alongside the Australian in Kenzie. So Saidi and Kenzie, 2 of the favourites doing the early running, with Mounier just dropping off the pace after less than a lap.
Now they're all still largely well bunched together. Saidi made a big move to go on the outside for Tunisia. Kenzie still up there. Saidi is leading. 2nd place, it's Enriquez Torres for Mexico. 3rd is Kenzie for Australia. On the outside, Winberg's now made a move for Denmark, but he's still in 4th position. Still not a lot between them. Heine's well placed there for the Czech Republic also, and Chase for Canada. Leading the way is the world champion Abes Saidi, who's taken on most of this field and beaten them in that World Championships in the Said Al Sulayem Stadium in downtown Doha. back last October. He is our leader. 2 laps to go. The pace is beginning to accelerate, but still Saidi has them where he wants them. Enriquez Torres up in a second from Mexico.
Well, Saidi has an opportunity here to dictate the pace of the race. It was very slow through the first 350 metres. Now it's cranking up, and Chase will need to do some of exactly that as he starts to drop off the leading 5 as well. The Australian Kenzie sitting in third with Enrique Torres in second. Now Kenzie makes it a little bit of a move along the outside and comes up towards challenging Saidi, but Saidi's pace is still good, and Kenzie drops back again, and the Frenchman Radius also there. So it's a race in 4 at the moment, but still you feel Saidi is dictating it.
Just about 600 laps to go in this men's 1500 metres T38 Final, and leading them through for Tunisia is Addis Saibi. Second place, the man who missed out on the medals in the World Championship Final, Angel Enriquez Torres, and now Kenzie's made a big move. The bell is on the way. Kenzie leads for Australia. Saidi really being challenged here, and strongly so. Radius for France moves up into third place. For Mexico in fourth is Enriquez Torres. And away they go. There's the bell. It's Dion Kenzie for Australia. Bronze in the World Championship Final. Saidi took the gold. Saidi on the outside. Kenzie on the inside. Saidi with the overtaking manoeuvre. 300 to go. They go past the 325 at the 1200 metre mark. Back straight Saidi with Kenzie on the inside. Radius jousting at the moment for the bronze medal with Enriquez Torres. It's a great battle for gold as well. It's Saidi holding off Kenzie for the time being. 200 to go. Has the slight lead as the world champion from Tunisia. Kenzie's not given up yet. Here comes the final bell. They're still going full belt. Radius up into third and closing. Now Saidi with a chance to put his foot down for home. Kenzie in second, Radius third, and Saidi looks to have done enough. The world champion is going to take the Paralympic crown. It's Abbas Saidi who wins for Tunisia. Kenzie the silver for Australia. Radius the bronze for France. 4:13.82 is a new Paralympic Games record. Looks like fourth place for Chase of Canada and fifth for Weinberg of Denmark. But how well he moved at the right time. Abbas Saidi of Tunisia takes the Paralympic gold.
Well, the great thing about that race is that the runners who filled the first 3 positions all had their opportunities. It wasn't as if they were bumped out of it. Saidi acknowledging the applause of the crowd.
Meunier crossing the line.
Kenzie made his move, being helped to his feet now, which is always great to see, that time by Daniel Heiner of the Czech Republic. But Saidi, Paralympic record 4:13.81. Dion Kenzie really asked the question of Abbas Saidi. Kenzie took the lead for a while, but he found that the Tunisian had just a little bit too much, and he will settle for the silver. Great moment for the island state of Tasmania. Radius the bronze. Saidi too good.
Yeah, great result for Abbas Saidi. Went in the shorter distances in the last 2 Paralympic Games. His strength is this. Silver in the 400 in Beijing in 08. He finished 4th in the 400 metres final at London 2012. But now back to his natural distance. He's a natural champion. But Dion Kenzie, a brilliant result. Bronzes in the last 2 World Championships and now a Paralympic silver. And Louis Radius as well. Well, it was silver for him in Doha at the World Championships. It is bronze for him here.
So they've all been able to locate a flag. Kenzie made a good start. Saidi did get bumped a little bit towards the back in the first couple of 100 metres, then surged again to the front. Kenzie asked him a few questions in the last lap and a half, but Saidi had the resources and the pace. Here's where Kenzie made his move, And he did make Saidi run some extra meters, return out of the home straight. But Saidi looked to be moving the more easily. There's a slightly longer stride. A classic middle distance runner. And as hard as he worked, Kenzie, Saidi had him covered.
It's what marks him out as a fine global champion. They knew in advance, the rest of the field, that he was the man to beat, and they were going to have to beat him by taking him on head on. Kenzie did that, but couldn't find a way past him to the line. Abbas Saidi takes the gold again. It's his second Paralympic Games gold. He won the 4x4 back in Athens in 2004. It's a great feeling for Abbas Saidi again. And Kenzie, disappointment at first. It's silver for him here, but it's still a magnificent result. It is the result of his life, and Saidi's too. Saidi's first Paralympic individual gold medal, Paralympic record as well, 4:13.81. The top three inside the old Paralympic mark. Dion Kenzie, the silver for Australia. Louis Radius, the bronze for France.
Victory ceremony coming up for the men's shot put F20. And this is an event for athletes with an intellectual impairment. And this is going to be another incredible moment for Malaysia, because our man Mohamed Zulkifli smashed the world record with his opening throw. Did it some more damage throughout, and then decided he was too emotional, overcome to bother with his last throw. He didn't need it. So it was quite an event. Well, coming into this, Todd Hodgetts was the world record holder and Paralympic record holder and gold medalist from London. But such was the quality of the competition coming from Senikidis of Greece and Zulkifli of Malaysia that he's ended up accepting the bronze medal. Quite happily, though. Good smile from him. Born in Launceston, lives in Melbourne. So he now has a gold and a bronze out of this event at consecutive Paralympics. Senikidis, a new personal best from him by some 49 centimetres. He was second in Doha, so a silver medal here, not surprising. And he gets the silver top tom. Mohamed Zulkifli broke the world record with his first throw, and he delivered a 16.40, but clips it by 11 centimetres. That took care of the old mark from Todd Hodgetts. And then he produced a 16.84 with his fifth attempt. An emphatic victory, an emotional one, and a stunning night for Malaysia. And the tears tumble down the cheeks of Mohamed Zulkifli. Before this night of competition, Malaysia had no medals. Now they've got 2 gold. So Zulkifli for Malaysia, Senakidis of Greece, Hodgetts of Australia, gold, silver and bronze. 3 pretty happy men. And who will ever forget the reaction of Zulkifli after he had it won? Said, I don't think I need this last throw. I don't think I can do it anyway. We'll go back to the long jump. Women's T42. Malu Perez Issa. Useful jump from Perez Issa. This competition is really just about how much Vanessa Lowe can improve the world record by, because she's certainly had a couple of goes at it successfully. It's about the minor medals, really. And Perez Issa with a 390 can get into 3rd position. Now here is the competitor in 2nd, Martina Caironi. Personal best of 460, and that's what she's hit with the 2nd attempt. So Caironi hits the runway once more. She was 13th 4 years ago, but won the World Championship, so she had an indifferent final in London. 2nd at the World Championships last year, 1st 3 years ago. In Doha, she jumped 459. Her PB is 460. And 466. So a new personal best for Caironi. Now, Vanessa Lowe has a new world record of 490. It had stood at 479. 493, in fact, she's improved it to. Oh, I think that might be a foul. It is. So she's beaten the world record with 3 of her 5 jumps. You can call a foul a jump. She did jump, it just wasn't fair. So she's jumped 488, 493 and 490, all past her previous world record of 479. Action resumes on the track.
The women's 100 meters T47, this amputee category. 2 heats in this, the top 3 from each going through to the final. European champion goes in this, Alicja Fyodorov of Poland. One of these, in fact, all of these competing in the long jump earlier this week. Here's Fyodorov, the European champion over 1 and 2 from Grosseto this year, and the 400 champion from Swansea 2 years ago. The 2006 world champion over 400 meters. And for Brazil, it's Sheila Finder. 9th in the long jump, bronze in the 1 and 2 at the Pan Am Games. Polly Maton of Great Britain. Stilani Smaragdi of Greece. Very good long jumper, finished 4th in the Europeans and 10th here this year. Lanza of France, Amy Watt of the United States also. So Fyodorov of Poland in 3, Lanza of France in 4, Finder of Brazil in 5, Watton the USA in 6, Maton Great Britain 7, Smaragdi of Greece is in lane 8. Lanza a DNS, by the way. Lane 4 is empty. So away they go. Very good start by Fyodorov in lane 3. Finder flying as well for Brazil and Maton for Britain. But Fyodorov is going to win this. Good victory. Maton in second place for Britain and Finder in third for Brazil. They're all through to the final. 12:45 the winning time for Alicia Fyodorov. Really good win. They've got a great parasport program, and the European champion has shown just why she is.
12:43, a personal best for Alicia Fyodorov. Got the best start, flew down the track, and was rarely asked a question about who was going to take this one. As she's in lane 3. Very quick over the first 10 metres. And Finder of Brazil trying to hold on to second, but on her outside there's Maton and Sheila Finder. And across goes Fyodorov. They've given Maton second place ahead of Finder, 12:98 and 13:09, but 12:43 for Fyodorov. Half a second outside the world record held by Castillo, set in London 4 years ago. If she's got a bit in reserve, she could trouble Castillo.
She's improved her lifetime best by 11/100ths of a second. Fyodorov, a brilliant time. It's a new European record as well. Fyodorov wins 12:43, Maton second 12:98, and Sheila Finder in third 13:09. They're all definitely through. Watt and Smaragdi will have to wait.
Long jump, T42. Backwards and forwards we go. And Onishi, a 39-year-old from Tokyo, sitting in 6th position. Awaiting what will be her final jump, so we've only got a few to go here. Most unlikely anyone can catch Vanessa Lowe. She has dominated this event. Onishi's been able to hit the board every time, and so 5 fair jumps from her. Personal best of 3:52 coming in, and she's bettered that with 3:58. So well done to her. That was in the 3rd round. Onishi on her way. No. Unsettled by something and hustles back. Might have to get this done a bit more quickly than she would like to. And Onishi, that's not the best preparation for your last jump. So a full start. Hit the board okay, as she's done consistently. But Onishi is going to finish out of the medals. Currently, Perezisa, Caironi and Lowe, Cuba, Italy and Germany in 3, 2 and 1 position. More action on the track.
Heat 2 of the women's 100 metres, T47, effectively a semi-final. And we have the reigning Pan Am and Paralympic champion and world record holder in this. And the camera is going to pan immediately. Eunice Castillo of Cuba. She's won the 200 metres title at the last 5 major global championships. Gold in the 2, 2015 in Doha, gold in the 1, 2 and 4, 2011, 2012, 2013. This is Deja Young, the world champion. from Doha and won silver in the 2. Anna Grimaldi won the long jump for New Zealand. And Terezinha de Jesus Correa, silver in the 1 and the 2 in the Para-Pan-Ams in Toronto. Bronze in the 4 in the World Championships, and Leon at the Stade de Rhône in 2013. It's Ibanez of Argentina in 2, Castillo here in 3. 3 times the world champion, twice the Paralympic Games champion. 08 and 2012 in 100 and 200, and won the 400 for good measure in London. Picart in 4. Tsutsai in 5, Young in 6, Grimaldi 7, De Jesus Correa in 8. The top 3 to qualify automatically. Oh, Castillo brilliantly away, and Deja Young, the world champion as well. Castillo flying forward brilliantly. It's going to be fast. Castillo and Young. Oh, Young might have got all on the line. 12-12. I think Young did better than Castillo there, but we'll have to wait and see who got the photo finish. Young was on our side of the vision, and Young's been given it. 12.12. Castillo 12.13.
What a super race. Been waiting for a finish like this where we've got to go for the photo almost. But it's been given to Young in 12-12 by 100th of a second from Castillo. And De Jesus Correa Santos of Brazil in 3rd. Then Grimaldi of New Zealand. And a Claudia Silva. Let's go back to the long jump. So Silva thanks the crowd. And she's just out of the medals, unfortunately. And with a foul on a last attempt. In fact, she only had one fair jump, 358. So that's a funny kind of night. So 3 to go in this women's T42. Perez Isa, Cuban, has been sitting in 3rd position after 6th through the first half of the competition. So she's done well. Came up with a 3.92 to move into 3rd. Final attempt from her. Oh, I think she's fouled that one. Indeed she has. All right, bronze medal it will be. Just took slightly too big a stride with the last onto the board. She knew, wheeled around. Not to worry, 3.92. Personal best, and a bronze medal coming her way. Now, Kairani, a remote chance of moving from silver to gold. Wouldn't put money on it, not with Vanessa Lowe out there, breaking world records left and right. And Kairani emerges from the pit with a big smile after a good competition. Three years ago did win the Worlds, but second in Doha last year, behind Vanessa Lowe. And 4.66 her best, and a new PB for her as well by 6 centimetres. Running out of superlatives really for Vanessa Lowe's competition. 4.88, 4.93 and 4.90, all over the previous world record she held of 4.79. So one last look at it. She's got the gold for sure. And in a relaxed frame of mind, what will she do? On that right forearm, she's got latitude and longitude tattoo to various cities where World Championships have been. I wonder if she'll add the numbers from Rio. Here she goes, Vanessa Lowe. One more crack at the world record. I don't think so this time. And it doesn't matter a jot. She's had a wonderful competition, a class above. Just a bit behind the board. A lot of emotional energy spent already in smashing the world record and pushed it out to 493. It began the evening at 479. So the Paralympic and world records rest with Vanessa Lowe. And Lowe, who was sixth 4 years ago, picks up the gold in Rio and a new world record. Did win the World Championship last year with 479. That was when she set the new mark. Some happy coaching staff and family and fans. Caroni comes over to congratulate her. What an improvement in 4 years. From sixth to smashing the world record.
Well, she has the title she wanted. She was on social media earlier today saying this is the moment she's been waiting 7 years for. And she's made it.
Here's the result then. Vanessa Lowe of Germany with that world record leap of 493. Martina Caroni of Italy and Malu Perez-Issa of Cuba. Gold, silver and bronze. Women's long jump T42.
Well, a really fine display in the end from Deja Young. Just got in ahead of Castillo. Very, very tight between these two in this women's 100 metres T47 semi-final. And Young just tipped in time. Took that by 100th of a second. And a big cheer for De Jesus Correa getting through in third place for Brazil. Really strong start by Deja Young from Wichita in Kansas. Great to see her go. Castillo, a brilliant competitor down through the years. Went fantastically. World Championship final, which went poorly for her. She had a mishap, finished at 8th in that. Second here, through to the final anyway. The top 5 are all there, including the long jump champion from New Zealand, Anna Grimaldi. Gearing up for a fine final. Young and Castillo the fastest. Fyodorov still has a bit left as well. 12:43. These are the 8 through to the decider.
Women's Javelin F37. Let's bring you up to date with what's been happening here. Field of 7. Charlene Coelho of Brazil, a warm favourite, holding the world record. 6 others doing their best to displace her, including Ji Quan Han, China, Caitlin Dorr of New Zealand, Eva Berner, Czech Republic, Ray Anderson of Australia there as well, but Coelho, stadium only had eyes for her. As well out past 35 metres and threatening the Paralympic record of 37.86, which is also the world record. So Coelho looking to bring some delight to the crowd. 37.57. She's not far off that world mark. So Brazilian fans have had a couple of great nights here at the Engenhão. Jia Huanshan sitting in third place at the moment. Second in London, sixth in Beijing, third at the Doha Worlds. Best of 31.62. And that's not good enough, I don't think. She stepped away in some disappointment. And got the thumbs down from the officials in the field. Got another victory ceremony to come, and the men's shot put F33.
There's something else for the crowd to enthuse about. This a seated cerebral palsy category.
Field of 7 began the F33 men's shot put, and Daniel Scheil of Germany would prove triumphant in this one. From Kamel Kadjenya of Algeria, and from Saudi Arabia, Hani Al Nakhli. World record was unchallenged. Hani Al Nakhli, 9th at the London Games, won the Asian Games in 2014 with an 8.55. 8.99 here and a season best from him. Does have a PB of 9.21, but even that wouldn't have got him into silver medal position. Bronze, a great effort. 6th at the Worlds last year for the 30-year-old from Al Madinah in Saudi Arabia. Kamel Kadjena from Algeria has twice won this event, Beijing and London. Beijing 11.54, 12 meters 14 in London. That would have won him the goal, but couldn't produce it here. Did win the 2013 World Championships with the 12.23 also, but just 10.94 today. Daniel Scheil is a great story. He only made his debut for Germany 2 years ago. Started seriously training in 2011. Finished third at the World Championships last year. And he's quickly risen to the top of the tree. He threw 11.03 with his very first attempt. That stood till the end of the competition, and now he's got that golden-topped Tom mascot to match his gold medal. We know it's a strong program in Germany. It's brought them another champion in Daniel Schale from Camel Kadiania of Algeria, and Saudi Arabia's Hani Al Nakhli. Men's shot put F33. We go back to women's javelin, and Shelin Coelho of Brazil trying to bring some more glory to the host nation. Sends it out past 35 metres. Had some room left on the runway. Spins around to make sure she doesn't tumble forward. Coelho, world record holder. 37.86 is the record. She's not too far off it. Eva Berner. Well, that's not a threat to the leaders. Well, the place will go off if Coelho can win this, as she looks likely to do.
They're 7 metres clear. It would take something exceptional to overturn her now.
So Ray Anderson of Australia sitting just out of the medals in 5th position from Terrigal on the New South Wales Central Coast. Sixth in Doha. Only 19 years of age. Did some of her last year at school exams while at the Doha World Championships last year under some kind of supervision. It was interesting for her. 28.46 the best for Anderson. So just out of the medals, but a great future in the sport. Not yet 20. Now Yamada Cohen. Fourth at the moment. Best of 28.56. And won't be able to better that with her final attempt. It's Chen Chan of China, who is holding the bronze medal position. We've still got Mi Na of China. And then Xiaolin Coelho. And then the matter will be decided, if it isn't already. Mi Na with the best in this competition of 30.18 meters. Almost 7.5 meters behind Xiaolin Coelho. Here she goes. No. That's not going to threaten, and that's not a surprise. Comes away smiling, though, with what will be a silver medal. And the consequence of that is that Xiaolin Coelho, who won it in London and was a silver medalist in '08, has another gold. So does Coelho want to have a final throw? Yes, she's circling around with the spear in her hand. She's ready to give it one last throw. Why not? And the crowd realizes that she's done it, and not for the first time. So with all the pressure off and the stadium on their feet, cheering her to one last big effort, Coelho heaves it out there. A great throw from her. Maybe not better than the 37.57. But it's another goal for Brazil. And she's just put the foot on the line there in any case, so it's a foul. Well, it's nice that it didn't matter. And over she goes to this huge crowd at the Engenhão. The biggest attendance we've had so far. And the love going backwards and forwards between Coelho and the crowd is obvious for all to see. What a pleasure to be here and watch this. As the athletes from the host nation step up time and again to give personal bests, great performances, conquer the pressure, and bring delight to the crowd. 37.57, and she's the winner of the F37 Javelin.
She was pushing on the whole time, wasn't she? Trying to get that world record on home soil. She'd set it in winning gold at London 2012. She delighted the crowd so much she wanted to give one last thing to them. She put a lot into the final throw, but well, she's got the gold. And that'll do nicely with China pushed back to silver and bronze.
Yes, Mi Na, the silver with a 30.18. Jia Qianqian, 29.47. So there'll be two athletes from China on the medal dais. Let's get the flag right. That will look better in the pictures. And Coelho moves around the field to congratulate them.
Semi-finals of the men's 100 meters, T11, complete visual impairment. Only the winner will automatically go through, along with the sole fastest loser. Lex Gillette, the world long jump champion in this. Ricardo Costa will get all the home support, of course. Chikongo and Halim Dalamunte both won their heats. It's strong. Lex Gillette, silver in the long jump this week. Reigning Pan Am world champion in the long jump. Heat winner from Namibia, 3 golds in the All-African Games. Silver in the 200 of the Worlds. Ananias Chikongo for Namibia. His guide is Evan Tijviju. also winning his heat brilliantly for Indonesia. Abdul Halim Dalamonte, Asian Games bronze medalist in the 100 in Incheon 2 years ago. And for Brazil, one of the most famous men in Brazil this week, the long jump Paralympic champion, Ricardo Costa de Oliveira. And it's only the winner guaranteed of a place in the final. Gillette and Williams for the United States. Shikongo and Chivichu of Namibia. Halim Dalamonte and Pramana Anshar of Indonesia. Costa de Oliveira and De Silva for Brazil. And as we know, no margin for error in this. Gillette in 1, Shikongo 3, Halim Dalamonte 5, Costa de Oliveira in lane 7. They're away, brilliant stop by Lex Gillette. Can he keep it going? Costa de Oliveira flying for Brazil as well on the near side. Now here comes Shikongo. Shikongo's going to win it. Costa de Oliveira in second place, 11:24. Shikongo makes the final. Costa de Oliveira might have done as well. Gillette and Halim Dalamonte eliminated. Shikongo brilliantly through, just shy of his European record. Costa de Oliveira second, 11:44, and Shikongo winning 11:23.
Like the look of Shikongo in this race. There was a rhythm about his top speed, which he hit with about 50 to go. Made a very good start. He and his guide, Evan Chivuju, kept calm. They weren't the first out of the blocks, but how about their finishing speed? They just raced away with it. And Costa de Oliveira, only the first going through for sure, but he wasn't far behind. So it's 11:23 for the winner, Shikongo. 11:44, Ricardo Costa de Oliveira. We'll have to be patient and see.
He got out of the blocks very well, did Anani Shikongo, with his guide Evan Chivulo. Solid start as well on the near side for Ricardo Costa de Oliveira. Got into his stride very well, his guide alongside Celio Miguel de Silva. Awareness at that stage that Shikongo had ploughed away. Glance across from Chivichu, his guide, just to make sure all was all right. Very close to the African record set in the heats, only 600ths away. Shikongo qualifies 11:23. Costa de Oliveira 11:44 is the man the rest will target as the sole fastest loser.
You watch these races for the visually impaired athletes and you realize that there are whole other dimensions to making it work, with the timing of the guide just backing away at the finish line. Stride for stride they need to go. Particularly difficult through the first half a dozen steps. First of all, finding a guide who's got the commitment to work with you and do that training, travel with you. It's a partnership, really. It's not just about one man, one woman.
It's a good reason why the guides get a medal these days also. Brazilian support, Brazilian interest in all three of the heats. Felipe Gomez won his heat. Have to work hard to find a very fast guide, and David Brown in this for the United States found a perfect one in Jerome Avery. Felipe Gomez has Jonas de Lima Silva with him, and this is Delfo Arce of Colombia alongside Ali Barrios.
Of course, if you have a falling out with your guide, or you want to go, as you say, you've got to find another and work up that partnership, that timing, that understanding.
Well, Jerome Avery there, the guide for David Brown, so good. He was in the top 20 in the US Olympic trials ahead of the 2000 Olympics in Sydney, and it improved to the top 15 for Athens. Avery is 37 now. Let's run through the field. Lane 1, Octavio Angelo dos Santos for Angola. His best result, 4th in the 4x1 in 2008 in Beijing, 5th in the 200. His guide is Luis Manuel. A heat winner for Brazil, Felipe Gomez. The reigning Paralympic 200 meters champion, bronze in the 100 in London, and he's from Rio, which helps. Jonas da Silva, his guide. David Brown, the world champion over 100 meters. Pan Am champion over 1 and 2 for the United States alongside Jerome Avery. And in lane 7, Delfo Jose Arce Orozco for Colombia. Bronze in the 100 and the 4x1 in the Pan Am for Colombia alongside Ali Barrios. And Brown's coach is Brazilian Joachim Cruz, the 1984 Olympic Games 800-meter champion in LA. And he, too, was just brilliant in his day. It's the little routine that Brown goes through each time. The world record holder, 10:92, set 2 years ago in California, where he's now based.
All these preparations needing to be done in a timely fashion. And fairly so, you're not keeping the other competitors waiting if you take a little longer than they do. But also with respect that it needs to be done.
Only the winner goes through. 11:44 the target for the second placer. Third and fourth will be out. Dos Santos in 1, Gomez 3, Brown 5, Arce 7. Away they go, David Brown flying out of the blocks. Felipe Gomez trying to keep up, hold his end up for Brazil, but David Brown is going to take this for the United States. 11:05, just outside the Paralympic record. But Felipe Gomez was very fast there, and I think he's now emerged as the fastest loser. Brown so smooth at 11:04, and Gomez 11.15 sets the standard for the second placer.
Well, so often the race is dictated by the start, this being the case here with Brown and Avery. In lane 5, got away so smartly, numbers flying in the background. They just can't stay attached with the kind of speed these guys are generating. And a comfortable, impressive win. But good to see Felipe Gomez, for the sake of the home fans, so close, give himself a chance of going through as the next fastest, because this was a quick time. 11:04 it's been rounded down to. 11:15 for Gomez. Maybe he'll go through.
Just out of the block so well, David Brown. Brilliant start. Just look, even at this stage, how far ahead they are and accelerating all the time. But Gomez in his slipstream very impressively. Brown with that smooth motion. The advice coming from Avery all the way through, how close they are and when to ease up. And Brown, 11:04. It's only 12/100ths outside his own world record. He's the man tonight. Will he be in the final? David Brown takes it, 11:04. Felipe Gomez, 11:15, looking good. At the moment, he too is in the final with one more semi to come. Lucas Prado, injured in his heat, does not start this semi-final. Timothy Adolphe Di Dong Dong and Fernando Ferrer are the three in this. And it is hard lines in Lucas Prado, but he did go down full very strongly. Remember, he was leading with about 5 meters to go in his heat, and then pulled up, fell over the line. He still qualified because he was fast enough, but unfortunately, injured.
Yeah. They're finely tuned machines at this level. It's easy to tweak something.
Sadly so. No, we won't see him in this semi-final and won't see him in the final. He being the former Paralympic and world champion. Did the treble in Beijing and in Christchurch in 08 and 2011 respectively. Gold in the 1 and the 2 in Lyon, but Prado will not be adding another major global gold to his 8. It's been a very good game for Venezuela. Even when they haven't been medaling, they've still been finishing narrowly outside the medals. So Fernando Ferrer, who went out in the semis 3 years ago in the World Championships in Lyon, will consider himself a good prospect here. Only the winner of these three will make progress. Ferrer's only been in 2 major championships in his career. Timothy Adolphe, the reigning European champion, did the sprint double in Grosseto. Fernando Ferrer of Venezuela alongside his guide Erickson Medina. Ferrer with a silver medal in the 4x100 relay in Beijing in 08. Di Dong Dong of China, bronze in the 100 meters at the Worlds in Doha, 4th in the 4x1. Wang Lin, his guide, and a heat winner, Timothy Adolphe, European champion over 1 and 2. From Grosseto in June, won the 2 and the 4 in Swansea in the previous Europeans, and in the last 2 World Championships, bronze in the 400 meters for the Parisian. Inspired by what he saw in Sydney 2000. A T11 now. Ferrer, Di and Adolphe, the 3 in this. Adolphe with the fastest personal best now that Prado is out of this semi-final. Brazil at the moment have Gomez in the decider as the fastest loser. 11.15 is the target here. So Ferrer in 1, Di in 3, Adolphe in 5. So they're away. Blistering start by Di of China in lane 3. Adolphe is fighting back strongly, but Di is going to take this. Di's on his way to the final. Can Adolphe make it? 11:28. That means Brazil have a representative in the final. Gomez was quicker as the second placer. Adolphe has been eliminated, and Di Dong Dong of China's made it.
Timothy Adolphe looks very upset with himself. Maybe feels that he just didn't do enough at the start. It was a slowish start from him. Di Dong Dong made no such mistake, though. And on 11:28, even though it's significantly slower than the second semi, he will be going through as the winner of this third. But it does look very good indeed for Felipe Gomez, second in that middle semi-final. The start's all important. Great rhythm, great pace away from the blocks for Di Dong Dong and his guide Wang Lin. And there was simply no catching them. Timothy Adolphe.
Well, it was really tight between the two in the end. They've both been given 11:28, but the victory going to Di. They've both been given the same time. Adolphe almost made it, but it was a wretched start by him. And it's gone down to thousandths.
Well, all he needed is a couple of hundredths at that start where he really wasn't at his best. And the timing of the pacing of Di and Wang just making Just enough difference. And you better remember to dip when it's that close.
Only just made it, Dong Dong. 11:28 for him and for Timothy Adolphe, but it went to the photo, went to a couple of thousands, and D is in the final, and Adolphe is not. There will be Brazilian representation of Felipe Gomez, who finished second behind David Brown in that second semi-final, qualifies along with Chikongo D and Brown. The podium is ready, and the athletes are too. This men's 1500 meters T38 victory ceremony. And it was a well-won race, this, actually. Well run. A lot of give and take at the front of affairs. Luca Lotti, the Italian Secretary of State, on with Jairus Magallo. Louis Radius, European champion over 800 and 1500 meters. His first ever Paralympic Games medal. Silver in the 15 and bronze in the 8 at the Doha World Championships. Moved up well into the top 3 with 600 to go and stayed there. Well, he's only 20 years old. He didn't have this smile when he crossed the line. But the result has sunk in now, that after 2 World Championship bronze medals, he is a Paralympic silver medalist. Oceanic record as well, 4:14.95. Enrique Torres of Mexico pushed very hard, by the way. He didn't finish, I'm sorry to say. Kenzie with a brilliant Australian silver. Abbassides had a really successful career, but despite that, it's astonishing to think it's his first individual Paralympic gold medal. The reigning world champion from Doha, and he won a silver in the 8 there as well. His first Paralympic gold coming 12 years ago in the 4x4. And now he has a gold medal and a golden tom. A new Paralympic record of 4:13.81, breaking the old mark. 20 years older Malcolm Pringle by 12 seconds. Saidi with the gold. North Africa's normally been a hotbed for middle distance running. Look at Saida Wita, Nuri Mocelli. And on this circuit also. We've been blessed with magnificent crowds tonight. Best of the week. And it's what athletes want. It's what Hannah Cockrover was saying in advance. She didn't want to go around this stadium with a flat atmosphere. And it definitely wasn't flat tonight.
It's been a great evening's entertainment. Good performances. A generous crowd. Women's long jump T42, epitomising the quality of the competition we've seen here in Rio at the De Janeiro. You know, you can go into an event as favourite and maybe you'll live up to it, maybe you won't. Well, Vanessa Loh of Germany increased the expected margin. She was the world record holder at 479. She did draw some personal best performances out of her rivals, but she won this with convincing style. The previous mark of 479 almost beaten with the first attempt. Malu Perez Issa, this is her first big result, really. Previous best of 366, so she's one of many step up and set a new mark for themselves. She jumped 392. Mentioned she was a former rhythmic gymnast prior to becoming a Paralympian. Martina Caironi won the World Championships 3 years ago, second in Doha, threw down a game challenge in the direction of Vanessa Loh. But really, 466, even though that was a personal best, didn't come near the champion. Just seeing if the silver medal makes a noise. Well, Vanessa Loh put out 5 top quality jumps. Set a new world mark of 493. Looked almost embarrassed to be dominating the competition as she did. A modest champion. Those who can win with some humility really deserve our admiration. She's certainly one of those. Won the World Championship last year, now a Paralympic champion. Delightful smile from champion Vanessa Lowe, joined on the podium by Martina Caironi and Malu Perez Issa of Italy and Cuba. 1, 2, 3, women's long jump T42. And you think the accident which resulted in the amputation for Vanessa Lowe very nearly claimed her life. She was in a coma for some time. What a journey it's been from 2006 to 2016. Malu Perez Issa of Cuba. Finish amongst the medals in this long jump T42. Pushed aside some more fancy jumpers here to get amongst the medals. The 366 previous best. So a marvellous competition from her. Caironi on another day against a field that wouldn't include Vanessa Lowe. She could have been a gold medalist, certainly put out a great competition. She too with a personal best, coming in with a 460. Got past that with 6 centimetres to spare with her best. And her best came in round 5. But Vanessa Lowe gave the world record a fine old workout. Smashed it early. And just kept finding more and more centimetres. And settled for a 493, the old mark being 479. An emphatic gold medal winner in the women's long jump T42. So that's how it finished. Germany, Italy and Cuba. Vanessa Lowe, Martina Caironi, Malu Perez Issa. Yet another world record at the engine out. Men's shot put, F33. Seven in this one. From Algeria, Australia, Saudi Arabia, the Arab Emirates, Germany and Great Britain. Hani Anakli. 6 at the World Championships last year. Came in with a best of 9.21. Wasn't far off that with a best of 8.99 in this competition. Sixth at the Worlds last year. Kamil Kadjena, twice winner of this event, Beijing and London. But wasn't quite at the top of his game today, 10.94. But this man was, Daniel Scheil of Germany. Only been competing in Paralympic sport for some 4 years. Actually made his debut for Germany 2 years ago. Started training in 2011. and winds up with the gold medal in the men's shot put F33. The throw of 11.03 ahead of Kamil Kajana of Algeria and Saudi Arabia's Hani Al-Nikhli. Jessie Watt just out of the medals for Australia. Women's javelin, F56, is conducted in the seated position. Nadia Mejmej of Algeria. Mejmej, regional record thrown of 20 meters 24 with her second attempt. And Martina Willing of Germany, a veteran in the field but still expected to threaten for the gold medal. Filling the best throw of 22 meters 22, so a little bit short of her best. She can nudge it out towards 24 meters 23.84. Not today though, but she does add to a tally of 11 Paralympic medals, making it 12 in summer, 2 in the winter. Diana Dadzite. World record was 22.71. And Dadzite of Latvia has come up with a tremendous attempt, and 23.26. Beats Martina Willing's old mark to claim the gold. So Dadzite gets it done from Latvia, but lives in Germany. 7th at the Worlds last year. Gold in Rio with a new world mark of 23.26. Dethroning Martina Willing of Germany. Nadia Mejmej of Algeria taking the bronze. F20 shot put for the men. Todd Hodgetts of Australia was the world record holder and reigning Paralympic champion, coming in with gold in London 2012. Was getting it out around the 15-metre mark. 16.59 his best. But his best wasn't with him today. And he would finish with the bronze medal with a 15.82. Dimitrios Sinakidis from Yanitsa in Greece was able to get it past 16 metres with his third attempt. To get himself into the medals. Second at the World Championships last year when he threw 15.45. And a 16.17 into silver medal position. But this was all about this man, Mohamed Zulkifli for Malaysia, through 16:40 with his first attempt to break the world record. And the big throws just kept coming from the big man from Kuala Lumpur. A scream of delight from Zulkifli as he throws 16:84. Adding half a metre to the record previously held by Todd Hodgetts. He was overcome with the joy of it and declined the opportunity to have his last throw. Zulkifli, 16:84 with the win. 16:17 for Senakidis of Greece. Hodgetts, 15:82, the bronze. F37 Javelin for the women. Charlene Coelho of Brazil, a warm favourite to deliver a gold medal in front of the home crowd. Jia Qianchan of China had a little bit of trouble getting away a legal throw early on in the competition. Second at the London Paralympics, sixth in Beijing. And with a fourth attempt, put out a good effort, well past 30 metres. 31.62 her best prior to this competition. Mina, also from China, would figure well in the competition. (29.83) PB for Mina from Shijiazhuang. Just out of the medals in London with a fourth place, second in Doha. Certainly figuring in the Rio final. (30 metres 1.8) and a PB for Mina. Crowd was wanting you to do it. Charlene Coelho from Brasilia. And she threw to the gold medal. 37.57. 7 metres clear of the silver medalist Mina. And over 8 metres better than the bronze medalist Ji Qianchan. A win for Coelho, a victory for the crowd, if you like, because they were right behind her all the way. Charlene Coelho, how about that margin? Over 7 metres. China, silver and bronze. Yet another great night of competition at the Enginau before the biggest crowd so far of the track and field program. It's a familiar story. Records are getting smashed. The home crowd's having a whale of a time as the gold medals keep coming their way. And we're seeing athletes enjoying themselves in great competition. And the good thing is we've got so much of it still to look forward to. It's a great formula. I hope you're enjoying it. We certainly are. And we hope to have your company again soon at the Enginau.